John, so great to see you again. How are you doing?
Very well, you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for this role. Okay, listen, why the heck has it taken you so long to take a TV series?
I don't really know. I don't. I hadn't really thought of it. If I got offered this 3 years ago, I probably would have done it because good writing is good writing, and it was nice to be wanted. And Jillian called me and asked me to do it, and so that's very flattering. So I'm sure they could have gotten anyone they wanted to play this part. So it's very nice to feel like they wanted you or thought that you could bring something unique to it. So that was very nice and flattering.
Yeah.
And I just love the writing.
Yeah, I mean, she is a fantastic writer. There is no question about it. What was it though? I mean, this she created this character for you. He's not in the original series that we know, the British one. And Dr. Kevin Christie, he's really kind of mysterious. There's a lot going on with this guy. I love the kind of mystery about him, and then but also that he's a family man. So there's so many layers to him. What was it for you that you thought, yeah, like wow? Aside from the great writing, tell me about the character. What drew you to that?
Well, it's hard to talk about the character without giving away too much of what happens, but
Yeah.
I think it's very, the some of the assumptions remain true, which is that he's somebody who's waking up every day and trying to work towards a livable and sustainable future for the planet.
Yeah.
So he's creating he's a virologist, he's an infectious disease guy, he's a guy who's trying to create alternative food things, he's into green energy. So he's really covering the whole spectrum. He's got his foundations and his pharmaceutical companies and all that, and he's trying
Mm-hmm.
a food that it can be created in the lab without using land or water to create it. So, and then that gets connected to the virus, or you think it gets connected to the virus that is in the utopian hidden comic,
Yeah.
that around kind of Nostradamus kind of comic that people have a lot of have placed a lot of that they think has told a lot of the future in it in
Yeah.
omniscient way, like it's a very mysterious document.
Yeah.
And Christie Lab gets connected into that, and that's sort of how it starts. But every assumption you have about the characters gets turned on its head every episode.
Yeah, it's very cool. It really, really is.
So whatever you thought you knew from the first seven,
Yeah, forget it.
yeah, maybe. And Gillian does not shy away from the epic. There's some wild stuff that goes on. So I think
Absolutely. I want to know, John. Yeah, oh, sorry, I just because I only have a minute or so left, but I want to know, are you a comic book nerd?
I wouldn't say like I'm a nerd. As a kid, I was into Spider-Man or all the comics. I used to collect comics as a kid,
Yeah.
and the adult ones, but I never got into the gaming world. And I wouldn't say, I haven't been as into it as a lot of people that I know, but whenever I've run across them, I've liked them. I mean, I read The Dark Knight, the Frank Miller ones,
Yeah.
and those types of things. Um, but I probably haven't been as into it as a lot of people.
Yeah. Now, what's so fascinating about this? I mean, you guys shot this show, and and then you got it all in before the pandemic, and then the pandemic strikes, and
Yeah.
then you watch. I've had obviously the opportunity to watch up until almost the end of this series, and I'm like, holy crap! Please discuss.
It's hard to talk about it without giving too much away, but yeah, I think it's the dystopic landscape, of course, was there and has been people have been writing about and making films about, and sadly normalizing the fact that we're heading towards a dystopic future. So many of the movies are about, hey, let's make the best of the fact that the air is unbreathable and there's no food and water and the oceans are dying and the climate
Yeah.
is, and it's kind of sad, but this Christie character is almost a Stalinist kind of person who is going to do whatever it takes and make all the hard choices in order to make a sustainable future. So you think about, it's almost kind of like he thinks himself as almost like a World War II general or
Yeah.
something. Um, and sometimes those people have to make incredibly complex, difficult moral decisions. but I don't want to say too much about it because it's sort
No.
of a plot. So it's hard to talk about. I don't mean to evade your question.
No, I understand. I understand. It's just crazy, but I have to say, I just loved watching you in this series, John. You really tailor-made for this. You're fantastic as always, and I miss you here in Toronto. It's TIFF time, and I'm always getting to talk to you during TIFF. But you know what? I'll take you via Zoom. I really appreciate your time.
Can people even come from? Can you get into Toronto yet?
The whole thing has been virtual. It's been an experience. Let me just tell you.
Wait to be able to get over the border and get back to Toronto. I love it.
Yeah, we'll get you back. Take care, and thanks for this, John. Take care. Bye bye.
Okay, can we go ahead?